This is one of my scripts that got over 300,000 views. And there is a 3-step system that I use on every single YouTube script to guarantee my videos go viral. It's actually very simple and easy to implement, and you can literally just copy it to blow up your channel. But the problem is, most small YouTubers have never heard of it. Now, I want you to imagine that you have a killer YouTube script. As soon as the viewer clicks on your video, they are instantly hooked in. After the first minute, they are re-engaged by an open loop that leads to them staying glued on the screen. You take them from high to lows, creating an emotional response while they go through an engaging story that ends on an insane high. This is how the top YouTubers write, and you can too, because it's literally just a copy and paste framework that anyone can use to write killer YouTube scripts in 2024. And the first part of it is your intro. This is my intro framework that I have used to get millions of views across my own and my clients' channels. It all comes down to 5 steps, and the first is to confirm the click. So what does that mean to confirm the click? Well, when someone sees a video on their homepage, they see the title and thumbnail, they click on that, and they have a certain expectation based off that title and thumbnail. The first thing that you are going to want to do in your intros is essentially confirm the reason why they clicked on your video in the first place. So how I like to do that is really repeating the title in the first line. Because think about it. They clicked on the title and they expect something similar to that because that's what they clicked on, and then you give them that exact thing and it gives them a hit of satisfaction. Whereas if you don't do that, most people leave in the first 5 seconds, and the reason why is because they think the video is not what they clicked on, right? So you can counteract that and essentially get way more people to stay past the first 5 seconds. This gives the brain a huge hit of dopamine, which is what YouTube is all about, and that brings us to number 2, which is credibility. So why do we do this? Why do we add credibility in the second line? Well, it's actually quite simple. You need a way to separate yourself from everyone else making videos, right? If you're an educational YouTuber and everyone is talking about the same topic, what's the reason why they're gonna watch you? Why not go watch someone who's an expert on the topic? Why not go, watch someone who has more experience, more subscribers, and better videos? This is where your credibility comes in. And if you do this right, if you position yourself as completely different from everyone else in the market, then you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be a big YouTuber. You just have to be different in a way that a lot of people like. It also tells people that you know what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, people don't want to listen to someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Like if you're trying to watch a video about should you buy the new iPhone, that's a big purchasing decision. You want to listen to someone who knows the in and outs of the product, who has attended events, who knows whether or not you should buy the iPhone. Or if you're watching a video about how to make money, you don't want to listen to some guy who's never made money before. You want to listen to a millionaire. You want to listen to someone who's done it themselves. For example, this is why Iman Gaji is so popular, because he became a millionaire at 18, which is just absolutely ridiculous, right? So even from a young age, he had that credibility. Now, fortunately, you don't need to be a millionaire to have credibility. There are so many ways to do it. For example, me, I have some results on YouTube, right? Like I've blown up multiple channels, blown up my own channel from scratch, and I leverage that heavily. I mean, even in the intro of this video, I told you exactly what I have been able to achieve on YouTube, and that's part of the reason why you're still watching. Now, number 3 is an open loop. What that is just opening a question in the viewer's mind that you leave open. You don't answer the question. So for example, I could say something like, so you want to grow on YouTube, there's a simple strategy that I've been implementing that's allowed me to grow, and you can use it to blow up yourself. Now people are wondering, what is that simple strategy? I haven't told them what it is yet, but they know that they're going to find out later in the video. So that's what's called an open loop. And what that does to the psychology of the brain is that it makes the brain feel like it's missing something. And it makes it feel like that loop that you've opened is incomplete, and that's a very unsatisfying feeling. Viewers want to have that loop closed because when they do, it gives them a big hit of dopamine. And it's one of the most powerful tools on YouTube. It's one of the ones that I leverage in every single script that I write. And in this video, I am going to show you how to leverage it throughout the entire body, but it's extremely important. The most important part of open loops is doing one in the 3rd line of the intro. Now you can do it before, you can do it later in the intro, but I usually find the 3rd line is the best place to do it. These first 3 lines should also be very visually appealing because of something called autoplay. Autoplay is when someone hovers over the actual video on the home screen of YouTube and they see just the visuals play. They hear no audio, but they see the video start. There are a lot of people that do that. People think that's like a very little thing, but the biggest and most successful YouTubers in the world think about this on every single video they post. They think about what visuals am I going to show in the first 5 seconds that will get someone who's hovering on autoplay to click. and it's extremely important. So what do you put there? Maybe you put a really cool animation, maybe you put like some sort of shocking photo, but something to grab the viewer's attention that will essentially get them to click on the video. All right, so number 4 is setting expectations. And this is normally a continuation on the last line where you opened an open loop, but what's different about this one is that you are essentially trying to set the expectation for the video. So what does that mean? You are either going to show or tell the viewer what style the rest of the video is going to be in. You could say like, in the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna break down super in-depth everything that you need to know about making money online so that you can get your first $10,000 a month. We're gonna go over this, and you are gonna learn literally everything that you need to know to scale your business, right? Like that's a very easy way to set expectations. Or if you're just making a fast-paced video and you have a fast-paced intro, you don't have to say anything because the video is already fast-paced and the viewer already expects the rest of the video to be that as well. So you can set the expectation visually or actually tell people what the video is going to look like. This really helps the viewer be prepared for the video because if you surprise them, like if you have a super fast-paced intro and then you just go into a slower, more relaxed video, people are gonna be like, bro, what is this? The intro was nothing like this. I watched the intro, but the video is actually not that good. And they're gonna click off, right? But if you tell them that the video is gonna be slower, then that sets the expectation and then they're actually able to go and watch that content because they expected that to happen. And we actually took this really seriously with one of my private clients, Joel Kaplan, who we scaled to 250,000 subscribers. He was literally just posting Zoom calls. Like that was it. No crazy content strategy. It was just simple Zoom calls with a fast-paced intro. And in each of those intros, we would always tell the viewer that, hey, sit back, relax, take out a pen and paper, because we're about to break down this thing that you're gonna learn, and it's going to allow you to achieve this thing. And that allowed a majority of the viewers who got hooked in by that fast-paced intro to understand that this is not going to be an edited video and then watch the video and be completely happy. Whereas if we hadn't said anything, so many of them would have clicked off. All right, so number 5 is establishing singularity. And this is the last line of your intro, which is one of the most important because you need to explain to the viewer why you are different. And this is super, super important because again, they don't want to watch someone who's the same as everyone else, right? They just watch the person with the most subscribers. So why should they watch you? And there are actually 2 ways to show this. First way is really easy. Just tell them more of your credibility. Just be like, hey, I've done this for myself, I've done this for this other person, and it's allowed them to achieve X results. So I clearly know what I'm talking about. The other way to do it is telling the audience your mission statement. Tell them why you are making this video and what is the outcome going to be for them. For example, I'm on a mission to take 1,000 people to over 100,000 subscribers completely for free. And when people hear that, they want to be one of those people. So whether your mission be helping 1,000 people quit their jobs, whether your mission be get 100 people in the best shape of their life, you can just tell people that mission and then people will connect with that because they want to be part of it. So why should you write intros like this? What is the reason? This is a retention graph. This is the 30-second mark. And most YouTube intros look like this. They look like, that is what a standard retention graph looks like. It looks like a big drop off on the beginning and then a slow drop off after 30 seconds. So the better your intro is, the sooner you can start that drop off, that slow drop off. And what that does is it essentially allows you to capture way more people because no matter what, after 30 seconds, if people stay past 30 seconds, they're not gonna drop off that much. It's gonna be very slow versus in the beginning, they're gonna drop off a lot. So if you can lower that to like here, then your entire view graph doubles. Like if you're getting over 60% of people staying past the first 30 seconds, that's great. That's really, really good. Like some people are only getting like 30 or 40%, and then that drop off takes it down to like 10 to 20. Whereas if you're getting 60%, then you're ending off the video with around 40%, which is really, really, really solid. So this is the number 1 most important part of your script. And it is extremely important that you understand this 5-step framework because the higher percentage of people that watch your video, YouTube thinks it's a better video, and then it will push it out to more people. But a strong intro is only the start. Now it is time for the actual script. The body is extremely important. That's the bulk of your video. So without that, you have no video, right? And if you can optimize this body, you can essentially get less people dropping off, increase your AVD, and have YouTube push your videos out to more people. And the problem that most small YouTubers have is they simply just don't know where to start when they're trying to write the body of their script. They don't have a framework, they don't have ideas. And there's something that I've been doing recently that's allowed me from just going and looking at a Google Doc and being like, what do I write? Knowing exactly what I should say and where I should put it. And it all comes to starting off your script with a 3-act structure. You've probably seen some sort of graph like this in high school, middle school, when you're in like English class or something. And it essentially goes, exposition, rising action, climax, and then you have your resolution over here. However, when we apply that to YouTube videos, we like to have 3 talking points per video. This is what this looks like on a YouTube video. This is talking point 1, talking point 2, talking point 3. So the talking point should get crazier and crazier as the video goes on to build that tension and really give people a huge payoff at the end. The first talking point should be some sort of introduction to the actual topic itself. The second should be more of the meat of the video. For example, we're in Act 2 right now. So we're talking about the body, right? We're talking about the 3-act structure, the core pillar of a good YouTube script. And this section will be the majority of this video because obviously the body is the longest part of the script, so there's a lot more to go over, right? I mean, we got to talk about open loops, we got to talk about payoffs, all these great things that make really, really solid scripts that, essentially hook your viewers and make it so they cannot look away. And the third talking point is where you close off the video with a super valuable ending topic. Act 1 in my video would be intros, Act 2 would be body, and Act 3 would be outros. So we cover every single part of the script, but we split it into 3s. But one of the most important things when you have these acts is to not split them up like, we're about to talk about point 1, and then, we're gonna talk about point 2. These acts should transition extremely smoothly. Even if you are doing some sort of like listicle video where it's, 7 cheap items I can't live without, you should never mention the third item is whatever. The reason for this is because if you break up your script into sections, each time you transition from one section to another, it gives the viewer an opportunity to click off of your video, which is not what you want. Like, if there's a clear break, then people will think that, I finished number 1. Now's a good time to click off if I want to. But if you don't even tell them that you're transitioning to number 2, then they have no opportunity to click off at all. So you need to hide that transition. For example, let's say we're doing that 7 cheap items I can't live without video. Instead of saying something like, that's it for my wallet, I use it to carry my cash, now onto item number 4, which is my film camera, because I love to take photos. You could transition it much smoother by saying, if I didn't carry my wallet, I couldn't even pay for the bus to go to Mount Fuji and use my film camera, which I'm so passionate about because I love taking photos. Boom, smooth transition. We never said, we're going on to item 4. We just moved on. There's no reason to tell people that you're gonna go to item 4. You should just go to item 4 and transition it smoothly. That way the viewer has no shot to click off. I see so many beginners making this mistake, and I even see a lot more advanced people with over 100,000 subscribers doing this. And I'm like, please, no. You're just giving up free retention. But all of this does not matter at all if viewers are slowly clicking off of your videos. You need to re-engage them with something called a open loop. An open loop is very simple. All it is opening a question in your viewer's mind and not immediately answering it. This works psychologically because people want their questions answered. They want to close that loop. It's so satisfying. This is like a spark. If you can close that loop just like, then boom, dopamine. So when you show them that you can open loops, make them feel uncomfortable, and close those loops where they get a big hit of dopamine, they will essentially get addicted to your videos. Because if you have an open loop, they will stay. They'll stay until you close it, because when you close it, then they get a hit of pleasure. And it is your job throughout your scripts to constantly be opening loops in the viewer's mind and then closing them. Boom. Open another loop. Boom. Close it. You need to do that throughout your entire script. And I'm not just telling you guys to do it. I do it all the time. I show the audience that I'm going to tell them a 3-step process that they can use to blow up, but I don't show it yet. Then if you look at another one of my videos, you can see it here too. As you can see, I don't reveal the strategy. In fact, it takes me around 2 minutes before I actually reveal what the strategy is. And I do this constantly throughout my YouTube scripts, and so does Mr. Beast, so does Iman Gaji, and so does Ryan Trahan. The optimal amount of times that you should open a loop in your script is 10, because in each act you should open a loop 3 times, plus 1 in the intro. So 10 in total. So in each act it goes open loop, payoff, open loop, payoff, open loop, payoff. Now, you're probably wondering what a payoff is. And that's a good example of an open loop, because now I'm about to close it for you, and then you're about to learn something that's gonna get you more views, make you feel good, and at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. And it's very important that you do close these loops, because if you don't, if you just leave the loops open, then people are gonna be completely lost, because you've given no information in the video, you've given no value, and then people are just gonna have way more questions than they came in with. So they clicked on a video about, how to grow a YouTube channel, and now they're stuck with, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Whereas if you close the loops, they'll be like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly where I need to execute, and I know exactly where I'm going to be after this video is done. And this is why we use payoffs. A payoff is simply answering the question that you opened in the viewer's mind. So this is the copy payoff. And when you close it, boom, copy payoff. So for example, what you should do is tell someone that you have a cool strategy that you're gonna show them, and then show them. It's actually very simple. These payoffs are the value of your script and should be the majority of your writing, because the majority of your videos should be value. People should be getting a ton of value from you, and you should be teaching them about a certain topic. What we like to do is insert those open loops between the different sections of value to re-hook people and re-engage them. This gives your viewers major hits of dopamine and leaves them satisfied after they click off the video, which means they will come back again and again. But to write the best YouTube script possible, you cannot ignore this outro framework. Most beginner YouTubers will end off their videos saying, hey, if you like this video, check out this one next, which overall is a great idea because we do want people to watch more of our videos. But if you're currently doing this, you're probably missing out on hundreds of thousands of views. A normal outro CTA like that will get you around 1% or 1 out of 100 people clicking on that next video who see that, right? So for every 100 people who see that, you'll maybe get 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky. However, there is a different way to do it that will allow you to get 5 to 8 out of 100, which if you think about it, per 100,000 impressions that you get on that, it's an extra 5 to 8,000 views, right? Which is a lot. That's a lot of people. And over the span of multiple videos, that adds up to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. It also increases your viewers' session time, which means how long they spend on the YouTube platform watching your videos. And what that tells YouTube is you have a fantastic video that gives people a clear direction or a clear path to follow to spend more time on the platform, and then it gets pushed out even more, and that's how videos really blow up. All right, but what is this framework? So it starts off with the link. So what is a link, right? So a link is essentially linking your old video to the new video that you're trying to get people to watch, right? So how do you link that concept that you're talking about? So this is a video about script writing. Where do I want to point you after this video? Probably my free YouTube course, right? So how would I link that back? I would say, hey, script writing is only one piece of the puzzle when it comes to YouTube. There's actually a lot more that goes into it, right? And now I'm linking those two topics together. So I'm linking script writing, and I'm saying there's a lot more, which transitions into the video that I'm trying to push you guys to afterward. The next step in this process is the curiosity gap. So a curiosity gap is honestly essentially an open loop. I probably should just put open loop, but it's just a different name for an open loop. So that's just opening a question in the viewer's mind that you leave unanswered. And the reason why you do this is to, again, create curiosity, because if people have an open loop in their mind, then they'll want to close it, which gives them a direct reason to click on that next video, right? And the final step to this process is the CTA/promise. So CTA. Now, what is a CTA? It's a call to action, meaning that I will tell you directly to go to that next video. So in this last line, I would say, check out this video where I show you how to do X thing, how to get 1,000 subscribers, how to get 100,000 subscribers, right? And all together, it looks like this. So now that you've learned about scripting, it's only one piece to the puzzle on YouTube. And that's why I've actually put together a completely free YouTube course with over 12 hours of content showing you everything that you need to know to get your first 100,000 subscribers. So check out this 5-minute video right here where I show you how to get access, what you're going to learn, and how you can use it to get your first 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 subscribers. Thanks, and have a great day.